Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Pisces, wherever Pisces shows up in your chart. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop an emoji, all the things to keep you informed about when I drop new videos. Also, to help me catch the algorithm train, because I am trying to do that and you're my ticket. So I would love any help that you can provide on that. Let's get you an oracle card, and then of course we'll get your tarot out. I hope you all have been doing okay. I mean, I'm assuming that you have some placements in Pisces. And, you know, Saturn has been in Pisces since, I think, 23, I think March of 2023, if I remember correctly. And it's going retrograde, or it just did go retrograde on Saturday. And Neptune is in Pisces also, which is also going retrograde maybe today, actually, if I think about it. But we have the solar eclipse. When did we have a solar eclipse? Was that like in April? Oh, I can't remember. I know that there was a solar eclipse and there was a lunar eclipse. We have the Seven of Wands, Strength, Two of Cups, three more. Six of Wands, interesting. A Queen of Wands and the Devil card. Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The High Priestess, which is associated to Pisces, depending on who you ask. The Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords. There's a lot of fire out here, which is interesting because maybe you have just felt motivated in some aspect of your life. Saturn is attributed to Capricorn and Aquarius. So it's not like a fire type of planet like, say, Mars or Jupiter, but interesting. Anyway, let's read about the solar eclipse card and get our shit together. And then, of course, we'll start your reading. I create my own reality. The striking visual experience of a solar eclipse can make any earthling pause in their tracks. When was that? Maybe that was in April. The solar eclipse. I keep hearing like April 8th. I think it was, right? Right? If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. The striking visual experience of a solar eclipse can make any earthling pause in their tracks. While not safe to look at directly, the light cast by the moon's shadow crossing in front of the sun creates a supernatural and humbling experience. Suddenly, it's obvious how much you rely on the sun's light. This is an invitation, a portal through which you can pass to a new reality simply by changing your perspective. A new, more aligned view and experience of life beckons you. Habitual patterns and belief systems rooted in fear will not serve you right now. It's time to look at your situation with fresh and loving eyes. Habitual patterns and belief systems rooted in fear will not serve you right now. It's time to look at your situation with fresh and loving eyes. Man, that that feels very Saturn, but also very like Pisces. Habitual patterns and belief systems rooted in fear will not serve you right now. That feels very Saturn. It's time to look at your situation with fresh and loving eyes. That feels like Pisces. Allow your inner knowledge, allow your inner knowing to guide you now and at all times. The only thing that needs to change at this moment is your view, whether by walking a mile in another's shoes or doing a forward bend to literally turn things upside down. Seek out ways to create a unique perception shift and open to your highest potential. It also feels very Seven of Wands, Six of Wands too. So wands have to do with action, trying things, right? It's the motivation behind the actions that you take. Creativity, passion, how are you communicating those things? What actions are you taking towards those things? I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things, right? We figure out what works, we figure out what doesn't work. What do we like? What don't we like? And truly, the only way to figure those things out is by doing. No matter what, no matter what your feelings say, no matter what your head says, there's been so many times where I was going to pick up a hobby and thought that I was absolutely going to love it. I think it was also too, I saw the other person's passion and how they were creating the thing, and I'm like, oh, I love that. I want to do that too. And convinced myself that I would love it, tried it, and hated it. Right? It just wasn't for me, but I had to try it in order to figure that out. There's also been plenty of things that I thought I was going to hate and tried and absolutely loved. There's been things that I have thought I was going to love, tried it, loved it. So again, you have to try. And even that helps you determine too, what aspects of this did I like? What aspects of it didn't I like? And can I make little tweaks and turns and pivots and whatever to get it to be something that I do actually really enjoy and is unique to me? This can also be internet for some reason. Like that keeps coming through with wands. The Seven of Wands specifically, though, speaks of standing your ground. It's self-defense. I mean, we can even see this figure is holding a wand, and it kind of almost looks like they're defending themselves against whoever is responsible for these six other wands. They could actually, I just got this feeling they could actually be putting these wands in the ground to put a barrier between them and something else. And I know that Pisces is often described as struggling with boundaries. And, when we are first even discovering what our boundaries are and putting those things into place, this is almost kind of how it seems, like we're literally building a wall around us. And again, it could just be, well, not again, because I didn't say this during your reading, but it could just be like you're not taking any more applications. And whatever aspect that is for you, like you're not taking on any more emotional burden, you're not taking on any more, work that is no longer yours. You're like, what, I think I've actually learned enough life lessons for right now. I think no more life lessons for right now, because you just need time to rejuvenate, clear out your waters, right? I mean, just even allow the water to settle. I'm using the water analogy since you are Pisces. And I've also heard Pisces as described as like an ocean. Like, Cancer would be a glass of water. Scorpio would be like a pool or a pond. I guess Cancer could be a pool. Scorpio could be a pond. And Pisces is like the ocean. That's a lot. Having the emotional capacity to take on a lot. Which also means, because, we think hurricanes, we think tsunamis, right? So that also means when you get to a point of burnout or just too much energy that you're not releasing, it can come out in the form of like a hurricane or a tsunami. And it can also cause a lot of damage. So it's like, just making sure, checking in with yourself, finding ways to release that quote unquote pressure so that it doesn't build up to where you are, But also with this, the Seven of Wands, I always see these Six Wands as being other people's projections, their fears, their reasons why not to. It's like they don't get it and they're trying to talk you out of it, and it's like, I, I didn't ask. And you don't have to get it. This is what I feel called to do. This is a thing that I'm doing. This is a direction that I'm heading in. This is how I'm expressing my creativity. And again, right, it's defending your actions. It's defending your position against people who are like, I don't get it. I don't know why you're spending your time doing that. Or, I could never do that because blue blam bloom. And it's just like, okay, who asked you? Like, I mean, good for you. I mean, I feel like I can do this thing and I want to do this thing. So I guess we're both clear on what we do and don't want to do, right? So you get the point. The Six of Wands is success. It's victory. It's also recognition. So interestingly enough, I was talking about these Six Wands here, right? And then this person, either they're putting another, this could be like a wall or just some sort of like defense mechanism, right? You see what I mean? They could be putting this, they could have been the ones that are staking these wands in place and they're going to put another one down there. Or it could be other people. But also some people, a lot of people need to be shown. Like they're not. Here's an example. I had a plant shelf in a coffee shop for a while. And unfortunately that coffee shop closed down at the end of May, which is very sad for them and for me. But I talked to the owner the day that I went down to tear down my shelf and take it out. And the owner was there and I was talking to him and he said, when you first presented this idea to me, I had no idea what you were planning to do. Even though I did bring like a little proposal that had a picture of the shelf and everything. The shelf that I started with anyway. And he's like, I had no idea how this was going to work. It was self-serve also. So, people just paid me through Venmo. It was honor system, He was like, I was worried that, people were going to walk off with a bunch of stuff and whatever. And he's like, I'll tell you that what it became was not at all what I could have ever imagined. Because I did at some point, I upgraded the shelf. I basically doubled it, a little more than doubled it in size. And he's like, every time him and his wife would go in there, there would be people just, looking at plants or maybe buying a plant. They would be talking about the plant shelf. And he's like, even we would just go stand by it and just look at each one of the plants and how beautiful they were and blah, blah, blah. But he's like, that's not at all what I thought it was going to be. And I'm glad that you presented this idea to me. And I'm glad that I said yes to the idea, because it's not for me to decide what's going to be successful or not. And just because I couldn't see the vision doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And he also said that if I decided to set up the shelf in another coffee shop or anywhere else, and if that place has any reservations about it to give them his personal phone number. And he would give me a glowing recommendation. So that is, that is the, like some people have to be shown. They don't get it. But then when you do it and it is successful, that's when the recognition comes. That's when they're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize something like that could be successful. Whatever it is, too. I mean, we don't even necessarily have like an indication of what it is. It could even just be the way that you're expressing yourself. It could be, of course, it can be your work. It could be a creative project. It could be, a house, remodeling a house. It could be a relationship. Truly whatever aspect of your life we're talking about here. And maybe this idea came around April. Also, the last solar eclipse, at least that was visible in the United States, was back in 2017. So maybe there was something that happened, I think it was like October of 2017, that, it's picking up steam here. We have the Strength card. The Strength card is literally looking at the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands would be the minor arcana card in a way to the Strength card. Strength is Leo. We're about to go into Leo season later on in July, beginning of August. So there could be, again, even something that you're like planting the seeds now and it's going to manifest in some way in Leo season. Or, of course, it could just be determination, perseverance. This feels like the finish line, which is very fitting for, like putting your energy into a thing, believing in the thing to continue doing it, that recognition, the success, the victory, and then, like I said, finish line energy with the Strength card. And then we have the Queen of Wands. These two definitely feel even tied together. Again, with wands, and queens are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize the energy of the suit within ourselves. We master the energy of the suit within ourselves. So then we can move on to the king energy, which is when we share it with other people and become an authority in a thing. And people, would then look to us for guidance. But the Queen of Wands is very confident. This is somebody who knows thyself, right? Like you trust yourself completely, especially even after this whole thing with the Seven of Wands. It's trusting your intuition, trusting your ocean, being in control of that also. This is, just being very clear on the things that you do want to put your energy into. There is also even a level of success here, but this is individual success. So this is like you getting yourself there. It's also even you giving yourself your own accolades. I don't even know why I want to use that word, but congratulating yourself. Accolades? Is that the Is that the word? All this fire here. And then we have the Two of Cups, which is water. There's this person that's like walking out of this body of water. I'm just going to call it the ocean because I've used that analogy. Forged in fire, cooled by water just came to mind. This is shared values. The Two of Cups can sometimes, of course, be a relationship card. I know some people, see it that way. I don't traditionally do relationship readings, but it could be, of course, a relationship. There could be some aspect of your relationship that is just been a tough time. recently. It's requiring a lot of strength from you, whether that's physical, whether that's taking on more responsibility, just more of the load in whatever capacity that is, which here it would be the fire aspect. So having to do more, maybe even having to research, having to be more involved in some area of somebody else's life. Right? Because I mean, like you're taking more action towards something. So it could be that, and it could have started to happen around April. But again, even back in 2017, this though feels like the balancing out of that energy, because both of these people would come into this relationship with full cups. They're both pouring from a full cup. They're both able to receive also. So there's this reciprocity thing happening here. This person is also on land. They're, like I said, they're coming out from water. So there's this balancing between emotions and earth, which is, grounding, practicality, health. Even this symbol, to me, I can't, is it a dang it. You know that like medical symbol that has the two snakes wrapped around a thing, a crucible or oh yeah. Caduceus. The caduceus includes two snakes topped off with a set of wings. There's also this lion here, which is tying into this strength card. Greek root word meaning herald's wand, and was a badge of diplomatic ambassadors associated with commerce, eloquence, alchemy, thievery, and lying. Okay. A reference to Hermes' ability to fly between the heavens and the earth. Peace, neutrality, and commerce. I mean, this could be help is on the way, in whatever aspect that is. However, then we have this devil card. Man, it like feels like a totally different, I mean, this could be codependency. It could be a toxic relationship. Now that those two things are out of the way, the devil is Capricorn. We have 2 Capricorn full moons this summer. We already had one. There's another one coming up, I think, at the end of July. So there could just be, something that's unfolding this summer. The devil talks about the things that control us. Obsessions, distraction, numbing, addictions. It's, literally something that takes our power away. That could be ourselves, right? I mean, it could be ego, like an ego story, self-sabotage, FOMO, like analysis paralysis. There could even just be some level of healing here where, because both of these figures are chained together. I mean, it could even just be a warning about double checking contracts, not letting your guard down out of exhaustion at the first opportunity of like a bright and shiny thing. Like just because it's packaged a certain way, be sure that you unwrap it first. As a corny analogy, right? Like, I mean, make sure you are double checking contracts, the fine print. It could be releasing codependency in some aspect, because then we have the 2 of Wands at the end of the deck, or at the bottom of the deck. This is planning for the future. So there's something here that's going to be resolved. It can even just be like, check your emotions. Get some rest. I just don't necessarily feel like this devil card is a bad thing, but I do just kind of think it's like, just be sure that, you're not making decisions from a place of ego, or again, like not making too hasty of a decision, not just, seeing a package perfectly wrapped and being like, that's the thing, right? And then it's not. So yeah. And also, like I said too, we do have those 2 Capricorn full moons this summer, which I don't know how rare or not that is, to have 2 full moons back to back in the same sign. I don't even know how that like happens technically, but it could just be that whatever this is going to happen between this last full moon, which I think was maybe around the 20th or something, and the next full moon, which, like I said, I believe is at the end of this month. Because then, we do have this planning for the future card. This is even waiting for communication to come in, because it does look like they're standing there waiting. Waiting for orders, waiting for direction, waiting to see if something, has paid off or something has worked. Like just waiting for word of something. Deciding what you are going to do next. And like I said, we have the High Priestess behind there. Even they're working on their laptop. And I'm just bringing that up because I think I said something about, wands being the internet too. This could be working remotely. The High Priestess is being in tune with our star player. It's intuition. It also has a very like kind of faded feeling to it. And then the Knight of Wands behind there, which is, it's going for something. Going for it. I'm going to leave it there. All of a sudden I felt like the energy was just like done. So am I. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.